Okay. So, Sean Clement here from the Richmond Hill Golf Learning Center. And today we're going to talk about arc line versus target line, okay? So you notice the tray I have here, which is the tray of golf balls we use here at the Learning Center, has a nice arc to it. So we'll say that this arc represents the target line, all right? Now normally an arc would be a little more elongated than that. It would look more like that white line right there. But for the understanding purposes, we're going to use this one right here, okay? So if you look at the black line beyond it, right over here, that would represent your target line, okay? The point where they meet right here, right? That's basically where if you're going to hit a perfectly straight shot, the center of your body should be right over the top of that point right there. So if we played the ball slightly back of that point with a club face that's open to the target line, as you can see, that face is open in relation to the target line, but in relation to my arc line, it's perfectly square, all right? So this shot should basically start a little to the right and then stay right. So it's a slight push. If I close the face just slightly to my arc line, but you notice it's still open to the target line, well, this shot will start to the right and then draw back to the target, okay? And what I recommend you do is place a few golf balls just off the inside of your back foot, brace the weight on your left side, and then hit a few shots, and then let's see you hit some pushes, some straight pushes to the right. And then as you close the face slightly, you'll start seeing that push go less to the right and then start curving back to the target. So if we take the ball now and we move it forward and we place it basically just past that point here. They call it the point of tangency in the stack and tilt boys. So from here, the club starts returning to the inside. So if my club face is square to my target line, if I keep the club face square to the target, the further I move along this arc, you'll notice the more left the ball will start. And obviously, because the club face is open to the arc line, even though it's square to the target line, it's open to the arc line, it's going to slice or fade to the right. Okay? So as the golf ball is struck just past that point of tangency, then it'll tend to pull left, slice right, hit the ground before the ball, you name it, it's an open can of worms. If you're going to make a mistake, you're much better off playing it back here, at least to be catching the ball first, starting the ball to the right of the target, and then getting the ball to draw back towards the target after that. But what's going to make all this consistent is this arc line here is completely dependent on you staying centered. All right, so let me pause this for a second and let's look at our little skeleton again for a moment. So, if the center of the chest and the center of the pelvis stay stacked, and these stay stacked against the left side, so you notice how I'm bracing everything against the left side. Now my center, if I just let everything turn around that center, all right, which is the centermost point inside here, all right? So this turntable here, the two hips swiveling underneath that the pelvis and the rib cage, that turntable stays nice and steady, and we will have a very steady arc to work with. Now that we have a good steady arc to work with, depending on where you want to place the ball in that arc, you'll be able to create the shots that you want to create in a very consistent manner. If the centers move off the ball in any way, shape, or form, so there's many ways that you can let these centers move. If you go with just the arms in the backswing, you're going to jar yourself against your body, and you'll tend to pull the centers away from the target. Well, now that means the arc has moved to the side, and now you're catching the ball as you're coming back to the inside of the arc, pulling it left, slicing it right. If the centers move too far forward, so you notice the upper center now has moved and is now not stacked against the inside of the left side. So it's gone on top of the left side. Now it's taken the whole arc and moved it this way. So now the arc is moving across. So it's going to hit some very low shots, deep divots going left. If you allow the upper center to move this way, well, now you've taken the arc and moved it this way, and now you'll have a tendency to smother hook the ball, push it right very thin, okay, or hit the ground before the ball. So if these centers remain intact, and you'll notice how easy it is for me to do that. If you go back to the perpetual motion drill in my swing plane video, when I'm swinging the club back and through without stopping, I'm allowing gravity to track the arc, and I'm allowing gravity to track the arc around the center of my body. And while I'm doing this, because my rib cage is turning away from the target, so you notice you go to the proper weight shift video where I show you to put your hands on the hips and you turn the hips. Well, basically what you're doing is turning the pelvis on top of the hips, and notice how my rib cage is following, because the rib cage and the pelvis are linked together through the spine, and the spine is not designed to twist. So we turn. Now, if I want to finish the turn with my shoulders, well, there we go. Now you've got a full backswing, okay, that completely didn't require any of the X factor going on, okay? So from here, I've got a nice full backswing that allows me to swing around that center, keeping that arc nice and steady, and there's no crashing of the arms against the rib cage, all right? So while you're swinging the club back and through without stopping, first thing, you feel that you're staying centered. Second thing, you feel like your arms are a free wheel. Notice how my arms are not crashing against my rib cage in each direction. So now you've got a drill that really helps you track that arc. With that arc, you'll get tremendous consistency in your shots. And with the help of the takeaway and starting the swing, feeling like you're already in that, drill, swinging back and through without stopping, and you're just catching that next swing to allow you to flow together. Because if you start the backswing with the arms, well, this stays put, arms wrap around your body, and now you've got to find a way to retune it on the downswing. Very difficult move to coordinate. So I hope that helped. If you have any questions, let me know.